Hey everyone, it's Schmuckles. Today we're going to talk about new potential Chapter 31 killer leaks for Dead by Daylight. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to this channel if you want news updates following this situation. I want to take a second here to re-emphasize that we need to take this information with a grain of salt. I don't like when I see things online of people saying things like Chapter 32 is Vecna, my source is Schmuckles. There's actually two problems with that. First is I'm not actually the source of these leaks, I'm just reporting and discussing potential leaks. And two, saying Chapter 32 is Vecna is actually false. All of this information is technically unconfirmed. A better way to articulate what we're actually talking about here is Schmuckles reported on some potential leaks that's leading people to believe that Vecna could be Chapter 32. That's kind of where we're at with things. It's unconfirmed, make sure to take this information with a grain of salt. We could find something else out in the future that makes this not true. Today we're going to be building off of this information with brand new information, and I quickly want to speedrun why I think this is even worth talking about as a potential leak. These were all in the comment section of my YouTube channel. This person here revealed that Alien and Chucky were going to be the next two licenses in the game when we knew that there were two licenses, but we didn't know which licenses there were, and this person also got the order correct by saying Alien then Chucky. Then another user claiming to be that same person said that Alan Wake is going to be the Chapter 30.5 new survivor when we did not know it was licensed and almost everyone thought it was original. This person also called out the fact that it's going to be an original killer, which was something that was not leaked at the time. And then they also said that a Dungeons and Dragons version of Vecna is coming in for Chapter 32. So the reason we're still talking about this and kind of going down this rabbit hole is because they have made correct predictions in the past. And that adds a certain amount of credibility to what they're saying. Still not entirely confirmed, but it seems like it's worth talking about. I just want to be perfectly clear. My subscribers know this is a potential leaks discussion channel. So if this information turns out to not be true in the future, I'm just telling you right now to take it with a grain of salt. Being completely transparent about why the information is credible in my opinion, as well as the fact that this could all turn out to not be true, is something that I want to be straightforward with you about. So this same user also commented on this video that I posted. They said 30.5 is Alan Wake, Saga Anderson as a legendary skin, and 31 is an original killer similar to Legion with 3 humanoid aliens. But of course this is just a joke, I'm just assuming. It actually is leaked that there are legendary skins coming in for Alan Wake. So if Saga Anderson is that unknown legendary skin character, we're sort of one at a time checking off the boxes for all of this person's claims. This person said this 5 days ago when we actually did not even know that it was going to be Alan Wake for the new survivor. So if we get a Saga Anderson legendary skin, this is actually adding more credibility to the entire narrative. They said Chapter 31 is an original killer similar to Legion. They are 3 humanoid aliens. To me, it's kind of unclear what that could exactly mean. If this is true, is it going to sort of be like Nemesis where we play as the base kit killer with 2 AI bots with us on the map? Would it be a similar situation to the Knight where we play as one of the aliens and we can spawn up to 2 other aliens? Or do they literally mean it's going to be exactly like Legion where we have 3 possible killers we can play and rotating skins would actually change the character to a different alien? But you'd only be able to play as 1 alien at a time. That's kind of how Legion is. In Legion's lore, you can play as 1 of 4 characters and just rotating the skin changes the person that you're playing as. But all of them together are considered the Legion. If this leak is true, something I want to talk more about is that new map that's coming in. The most obvious guess for a new map for an original alien killer in Dead by Daylight would be that alien's home planet. But we already have a couple of alien-like maps in the game. We have the Nostromo Wreckage, which is the Xenomorph's home planet, and we have Toba Landing, which is where Gabriel and the Singularity landed. So if Chapter 31 is an alien humanoid original character, and the new map is related to this alien's home planet, what exactly would this map look like? I think a pretty interesting way to make the map feel distinct from these other 2 alien-like maps is to have a totally different theme and color palette for the map. That is to say that Toba Landing has kind of a greenish red color palette, and Nostromo Wreckage has like a bluish, almost greenish color palette. So maybe they'd bring in this alien's home planet as a new map and change the color palette to make it feel distinct. Taking into consideration the alien map's color palettes, as well as the other color palettes that we have with different maps in DBD, I feel like a purple color palette for an alien map would make the most sense. We really don't have any maps that kind of have like a purple tint or a purple theme to it. Another really interesting thought was like sort of an orangish tint to the map as well. We have the Decimated Borgo, which is really like a red and orange kind of color, but to me like a purple color palette map or an orange color palette map kind of makes the most sense. It's kind of interesting that Toba Landing and Nostromo Wreckage are considered maps, not realms. Both of those maps fall under the realm Devarco Deepwood. So that makes me wonder if this is true and we are getting an alien killer for Chapter 31. Would they just be adding 1 new map under this realm Devarco Deepwood? The realm Devarco Deepwood would then sort of describe all of the alien maps that we have in DBD. And then Behavior would only have to make 1 new map for this new chapter. One thing's for sure, if Chapter 31 is an original alien humanoid-like killer with 3 different versions of the alien, again. This is a huge checkbox that we get towards the larger claim that Vecna is actually the anniversary chapter. I did more research on who Vecna is in the context of Dungeons and Dragons. Seldom is the name of Vecna spoken except in a hushed voice. Vecna was, in his time, one of the mightiest of all wizards who forged a great empire through dark magic and conquest. For all his power, Vecna couldn't escape his own morality. He began to fear death and take steps to prevent his end from ever coming about. The Dungeons and Dragons website actually explicitly goes over different ways to license their properties into other kinds of things. This is the system's reference document. It contains guidelines for publishing content under the Open Gaming License or Creative Commons. The Dungeons Masters Guild also provides self-publishing opportunities for individuals and groups. The use of D&D content in streaming, fan art, cosplay, and other fan content is not related to SDR, OGL, or Creative Commons, but is permitted as described in the Wizards fan content policy. On the website, they also included a table kind of going over different possible actions that people could do, and this is in respect to using D&D content in their stuff, and they kind of organize it into different categories. And I looked a little bit more into this, and I found that there's this OGL 1.0A FAQ. This is an open game license, which is a license agreement between you and Wizards of the Coast to access the core rules of D&D through an SRD. This license agreement was created by Wizards in 2000 and has been used by the creator community since then to develop their D&D compatible products. So this really does go to show if you want to monetize off of D&D related things, you do need to get a license through this license holder right here, Wizards of the Coast. I always thought that Hasbro owns D&D, but this website here, the official D&D website, says that Wizards of the Coast are the license holders for D&D. And I did more research on this, and this organization, Wizards of the Coast, was acquired by Hasbro. In September 1999, Hasbro bought Wizards of the Coast for about $325 million. D&D was a game that was first published in 1974. It was published by Wizards of the Coast, which is now a subsidiary of Hasbro since 1997. The organization Born Licensing is also a major player in this as well. They're licensing agents for Hasbro. Born Licensing working with Hasbro and their brands for advertising and marketing campaigns since 2015. Hasbro connects to global audiences through toys, games, consumer products, TV shows, movies, and feature films, digital gaming, live action, music, and virtual reality experiences. And Born Licensing is actually the licensing agent that helps them do that. And on the Born Licensing website, you can actually license a famous toy or game, and I think D&D would fall under this category. You can inquire for this on the Born Licensing website, and then it takes you to this page right here, and it clearly says here that Born Licensing has been appointed as the licensing agents for major rights holders such as Viacom, CBS, Hasbro, Universal Studios, and MGM for advertising and marketing campaigns. This means that Born Licensing can license thousands of characters and clips from the world's greatest film, TV, and animation brands without charging any clearance fees. So we're really getting a sense of how complex the process would be if Behavior was licensing in the D&D version of Vecna and then Stranger Things renewed with them. To hop ships over to the Stranger Things version of Vecna for this chapter would technically mean that Behavior would be voiding the contracts with Wizards of the Coast subsidiary of Hasbro and canceling all licensing deals associated with Born Licensing. Voiding a contract because a better version of the IP came along could potentially damage Behavior's relationship with these major license holders and brands. So they could stick with the D&D version of Vecna, they could void the contract and actually bring in the Stranger Things version of Vecna if that's now available to them. And after doing all of this research, the third option, which seems really interesting to me, is what if Behavior actually decided to go with another D&D character for that chapter? This would be a way to not burn a bridge with these license holders and potentially bring in a Stranger Things version of Vecna later. Let me know what you think about that in the comment section below. If Behavior were to bring in anything from D&D, what other characters other than Vecna would make the most sense? Remember to take all this information with a grain of salt. Although all of the research in licensing agents is completely factual, it's not officially confirmed that Behavior is working with these license holders. But again, we are sort of checking off the boxes one at a time to the claims made by this alleged leaker. So the next checkbox is a Saga Anderson legendary skin, and then after that, it's an original character that's similar to Legion with 3 humanoid alien killers. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to this channel if you want to see more content like this. That does it for this video. Goodbye.